Hey man, what's up? This your boy K Smooth, man. Hey man, coming to you with another video, Boxing Talk 100. And you already know, man, we ain't gonna waste no time. Let's get right into it. David Benevidez versus Demetrius Andrade. Hey man, this gonna be for David Benevidez WBC interim, you know what I'm saying, super middleweight title. Hey man, let's break it down, man. Las Vegas, Nevada, Michelob Ultra Arena at Mandalay Bay, you know what I'm saying, Casino, Las Vegas. November 25th, you know what I'm saying, Showtime PPV. Hey, it's going down, you know what I'm saying. You know, hey, we got the Mexican Monster versus Boo Boo Andrade. So, hey, let's get right to it, man. Hey, David Benevidez, orthodox stance, you know what I'm saying, height is at 6'2". You know what I'm saying? His reach advantage is 74. 27-0 with, you know what I'm saying, 23 wins by coming of KOs. 9-year veteran. Hey, man. What can we say about, you know, the Mexican Monster, you know what I'm saying, versus, you know what I'm saying, Demetrius Andrade. You got to understand, Demetrius, he gonna come in a little bit, older, 35 years old, you know what I'm saying? We can't forget, about Demetrius Andrade's, you know what I'm saying, record, 32-0. As well as another superb boxer, you know what I'm saying, is given a title defense matchup against David Benevidez. So, like I said, David coming off of a win against, Caleb Plant. The last fight, he beat Caleb Plant in a unanimous decision. That was a good win, for David, you know what I'm saying, showing that he can still be able to compete with some of the highest, super middleweights. And as being a champion, holding the interim, WBC title belt. It's gonna be a good matchup, man. You got to be considered. David, he's 6'2", and Demetrius Andrade is 6'1". The reach advantage is gonna be definitely for David. You want to talk about a 74.5 reach advantage, you know what I'm saying, against, Demetrius, Andrade's, you know what I'm saying, at a 73.5, almost 74. So it's going to be kind of, it's almost right there. You can say that David's at a 75, percent, reach advantage, and, Demetrius at a 74, reach advantage. So consider it, you know what I'm saying, David Benevidez is one less inch taller than, Demetrius Andrade. This is going to be a good matchup. 6'2" versus a 6'1", height, advantage for, David. And like I said, both fighters are undefeated. I mean, you got to, Demetrius, with Boo Boo, he's not it ain't going to be easy, man. This fight could go either way. The only reason why I kind of give a little bit of edge to David because he holds the the belt, and also being undefeated, you know what I'm saying. Demetrius, he has the better record. Can he go in there and pull an upset against a belt holder, with David Benevidez, holding the WBC interim belt? Could he go in there and pull the upset? Is this, Boo Boo in Demetrius Andrade's time? Is this his time to be able to pull the upset? I think Demetrius' last win came off a win against Desmond Nicholson. And he was 26-4, with one draw. But it shows, you got to get through tough wars, and, other fighters going to have names such as, Desmond Nicholson, being able to be one of those fighters that you got to get past, so it's a good look, with Showtime and, what the Boxing Association is putting on for the super middleweight, this championship matchup. Las Vegas, man, like I said, Mandalay Bay, November 25th. It's gonna be one for all the ages, you know what I'm saying? And somebody's old has got to go, man. You know what I'm saying? David Benevidez 27-0 with 23 KOs. Been doing this shit for 9 years, you know what I'm saying? 9-year veteran in the game from from Arizona. And I think Demetrius Andrade is from the island, so he's not from of this the states of United States of America. But yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be a good fight. You got to think about David Benavidez is gonna come in bigger. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be the bigger 168 champion. Solid, you know what I'm saying, versus, Demetrius Andrade, you know what I'm saying? He can move from 160 to 168. But don't got no problem because, he's going to have to, put on that weight, to go meet, David. And like I said, David's in that orthodox sense, and, what I'm saying, Demetrius, is in that southpaw, so, this is going to be a damn good matchup for, both fighters, seeing what they gonna do, what they gonna bring to the table. Demetrius Andrade is 32-0 with 19 KOs. So that's another excellent record, man, that, we can't bypass, with Demetrius Andrade. Boo Boo got hands, not only hands, some good speed, can hit hard. He might give David, Benavidez, some problems, in the boxing ring, but we shall see, when you match up David for his size as being a firm, at 168, he's going to be faster, he's going to be bigger, he's sharper, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, he's confident at holding the belts, you know what I'm saying? At, that WBC title interim belt, which he has to defend, on that, on fight night, in Las Vegas against, Andrade. So, this is going to be a good damn middleweight title matchup, you know what I'm saying? And and like I said, we got to talk about Demetrius Andrade. He's been in the Golden Gloves, went twice, in his career. So, we talking about from 2007, from 2008, being in the nationals and being able to get through, winning, at the nationals of the Golden Gloves, the tournament. So, Andrade is a good fighter. We can't just, not see, because like I said, this could go either way. This is a fight, like I said, I give it the edge a little bit to, David Benavidez because he's holding that belt. And we know how tough David is. He's a good knockout artist. He can make the referee stop the fight with the TKO stoppage. I mean, he could just put a pounding on you, you know what I'm saying? Very good, talented boxer from Arizona, you know what I'm saying, with the skills that he's going to bring to the table against Demetrius. I think he just has the edge on speed. I think speed is what's going to get Demetrius Andrade, you know what I'm saying, in his first career loss against David Benavidez. And like I said, don't think about going, if I'm Demetrius, don't think about, this is your chance to be able to showcase your skills on that championship level, which you've been fighting your whole entire life just to get on this stage and be in this position right here, making that moment count under the lights, you know what I'm saying? So this is where we at with it, with Demetrius, Andrade, to be able to upset, David Benavidez, the Mexican monster. It's going to be a great fight, Boxing Talk 100, but they both going to match up well. I think it's going to be tat for tat in the beginning, it's going to be a chess match, you know what I'm saying? And I think the only thing, with, like I said, I give the edge to, David with the hand speed. And I give him the edge with the, the power punches, going to the body. That's the only thing I give, David Benevidez the edge on. Other than that, Demetrius, he going to have to figure it out, David's style, because I'm pretty sure, I would say David, he's going to be controlling the whole fight. I mean, this is just what I can see with David Benevidez and the type of fighter he is. He's going to come forth to fight. He's going to stand in front of you. He's going to use jabs, right hooks, left hooks, to the top, to the temple, to the face, or whatever you want to call it. He's going to beat your ass. And if not, he can switch it up and go to the body. A devastating, body, puncher, with a David Benevidez can hurt you. Gonna put you down, and if you can't handle that kind of, that type of, smoke with, David Benevidez, then I could see him as breaking down Demetrius Andrade. And don't get me wrong, like I said, Demetrius is a good boxer, it just levels to this shit, he's getting an opportunity. Somebody like David Benevidez, he never stepped in the ring with, he's always had like low, good, middle caliber names, but not such names as David Benevidez. This is something new right here for Demetrius Andrade, to try to be able to pull the upsets and, take that belt, the interim belt. The fighter, each fighter, being able to see who can beat who, whether Demetrius beats, David, or David beats Demetrius Andrade, the fighter is one step closer to be, having to fight with Canelo Alvarez. That's what it's gonna come down to. It just depends on what kind of, position and what kind of route that, Canelo want to go into, because he already said that he don't got his, his eyes or anything on Terrence Crawford. So I can see, the winner of this fight being up for grabs, for Canelo. Canelo wouldn't mind taking this fight, whether Demetrius Andrade wins or David Benevidez wins, but it's a risk for Canelo as well, because like I said, he's firm at 160. He could go, he could fight, Terrence Crawford at a catch weight at 160. But then again, you could fight the winner out of David Benevidez versus Demetrius Andrade, at 168. Canelo, he's up there. He just defended the titles from 168, fighting, Jermell Charlo. So I don't think it'll be a problem, with Canelo. He can move down to 154, 160 to 168, Canelo Alvarez. So Canelo, he's just blessed in any position, but y'all got to be able to understand, where he's comfortable at, between 160 and 168. Terrence Crawford is too small, he could blow up too, and a lot of people think that about, Bud, but he could blow up to 160, 168 would be pushing it, but he can definitely push up to 154 to 168 if he decides, because like I said, there's a rematch clause with Errol Spence and, Bud Crawford at 147. Both fighters are getting too big for 147. So with Bud, him being the more, smaller fighter, he could fight a couple of more fights at 147, depending on, because like I said, he got the belts. He is the man at 147 and really don't got to prove anything, unless he want to go fight, Jermell at 154 for Jermell's, belts. But considering, Terrence Crawford being at 147, he would have to fight one more time against Spence, which he'll get some great money for that, and eventually vacate and fight at 154, being able to give Jermell giving him, a title defense matchup, for them belts. But, we'll see how that goes, and we'll see, the direction, Bud, what direction he goes, Right now, y'all got to be, understanding and know that, Terrence Bud Crawford is at 147. And he's hanging on to them belts, Whether, he could fight at one. If he's smart, he can go get a fight at 154 and still retain those belts, being unified champion at 147. Until otherwise, And like I said, you got Boots moving up. at 147. You got still Keith Thurman at 147. You got the great, LS Tekka Warrior, Mario Barrios is at 147. So we can see some fights at 147. And yeah, we just seen what Mario Barrios did to Ugas. So Ugas is out of the picture at 147. And you got to be able to give Mario Barrios his respect by defeating an Ugas, because we seen that Ugas, he was in a position to where he could get any fight, he fought the Sean Porters and fought Spence and, could have fought, it's possibilities, it just depends on what, Terrence, whether he want to give a title defense matchup to Ugas, you know what I'm saying? But I figure, like, he don't want to go that route because Ugas just got his ass beat. Yeah, he could fight Boots, or he could fight Mario Barrios. Give Mario Barrios a title defense matchup. I think it's only right, that Mario's get, some type of, title defense matchup. He's well deserving of that, at 147. But like I said, it's just up to, Terrence Bud Crawford of, what he wants to do. But we for sure know that, there's a contract rematch clause with, Bud and Spence. So we just got to wait and see how that goes. And, yeah. Boston Talk 100, man. But, yeah, man, a lot of things are getting, boxing is getting interesting now. We get to see, David Benevidez versus, Demetrius Andrade, And, we got to be able to, think, boxing association, whether it's Showtime or DAZN or any of the boxing stations that's willing to broadcast and show, these fights, on TV or wherever you at, we got to be appreciative, and we got to be appreciative, of these fights. But we got one, man, David Benevidez versus Demetrius Andrade. So, this is one for boxing, man. Comment at the bottom and let me know who y'all gonna win. And, who gonna come out with the victory, November 25th, Showtime pay-per-view. And like I said, man, I love boxing, and I'm glad this was able to be a fight, And like I said, David, he came off a good win on Caleb Plant, so, this is the direction of winning, not backtracking. And these guys, like I said, these guys don't got no losses. They only going from the top from here, especially David, going into, a position to where being undefeated and not losing. So, these guys, deserve to be in this position, man, being able to fight, each other, And like I said, the records going to speak for themselves, like I said, David Benavidez 27-0 with 23 KOs. And Demetrius Andrade, 32-0 with 19 KOs. So it's beautiful, man. Somebody's O has got to go, man, and I'm excited for this fight, man. I'm really excited, And a fighter like Demetrius Andrade, he's been around for a long time, calling out the Charlos and wanting to fight Canelo and, got his chance against, David Benavidez now. But, there was a time to where, where these guys, eventually they had to be able to run into each other and negotiate, in making these fights, signing the contracts. So it's only righteous, for these fights to be able to happen now. This is what we get in the sport of boxing, for the true boxing, lovers of the sport, being able to watch and support. But yeah, man, Boxing Talk 100, man, we got us a good one, man. We got us a great one. And hopefully on the undercards, we'll get some good fighters, with some names. And I'm hearing that maybe we get Charlo, Jamal versus, Jose. It'll be on the same card. And so we knew there was a time where, Jamal Charlo, the big Charlo, being at 160, because that's where he's comfortable at, 160 to 1. I mean, he's 168, but in between, he could be able to fight at 160 to 168. But there was a time to where we were supposed to see Jamal Charlo versus, David. But somehow, Jamal going through with all his problems, with all, I don't know, man, just being able to be on a certain type of level to where, he got a lot of stuff going on in his life, and, what we all go through, it ain't just about boxing either. You got to be able to make sure your household and everything is good, and, life outside of boxing, and for a minute, Jamal Charlo stepped away from it, but now he's back, having a new trainer, Roy Jones, and, being able to, have the love for boxing again, And so we get to be able to see, him showcase his skills, and he's also undefeated. Being that, we get to be able to see him showcase his skills against, Jose Benevidez. This is the older brother at, up David. He's comfortable at 154 to 160, the same as, Jamal Charlo. So I mean, time will tell. We got to be mindful of the weight, making weight and not being able to, not be making weight. So it's all about being disciplined, and yes, we want to be able to see these fighters be able to fight everybody, but we just got to be able to, respect and be able to take in whatever, fights that we, they call out, whatever they put on the table. So we get, Jamal and, Jose Benevidez. I mean, Jose Benevidez is not a bad fighter. I just think that it's also going to be a good fight, but I think that Jose ain't got nothing for, Jamal Charlo. I think it's going to be Jamal Charlo going to knock him out. This is going to be a comeback type of win for Jamal, to be able to come back and, get used to boxing again and being able to put on the show and just being able to get back on track, with the boxing, not being able to have any distractions like getting into it with his brothers and, his brother and his girl being able to fight each other and all that bullshit. A lot of stress and a lot of, it's a lot of stress for Jamal Charlo. It can fuck the, like he said, it could, tarnish the, family brand, lawns only, promotions,